All right. Well, we I think we avoided it long enough.
Oh, the rest of the week.
Are we skipping on this day?
Well, we can change on this day today.
Yeah.
Today.
On this day, and then just read.
Go ahead. What happened on this day, Jim?
Well, on this day. On this day. Well, actually, let me hit it again. On this day. WWE touts the Q3 finance call. They turned a $255 billion profit. Is that correct? I thought I saw million earlier.
I think it's million.
$1 million profit.
With an
M. This quarter with an M, not a B.
Boy,
and then
255 million. On this day.
And then releases again for the
everyone
8th time. Right. I feel like if I would actually have a better luck just announcing who's still on the roster. The entire Samoan wrestling family, Charlotte Flair,
except for one, right?
Except for one. That's right. Except for one.
That blows my theory out of the water.
Right.
Yeah, she's a member.
But yeah, unfortunately, more releases from WWE today. We do have the full list here, at least as of press time. The first was Scarlett.
How you like that?
Frankie Monet.
How you like that?
Mark, do you just want to say it for me, or do you want me to keep hitting the button?
No, hit the button because he'll break up.
Yeah,
you're right. You're good call.
Your cadence is better.
Ember Moon.
How you like that?
Oni Lorcan.
How you like that?
B-Fab of Hit Row.
How you like that?
Jesse Kamea.
How you like that?
Zeta Ramir. Trey Baxter.
How you like that?
Katrina Cortez.
How you like that?
Jeet Rama.
How you like that?
Grand Metalik.
How you like that?
Lindsay Dorado.
How you like that?
Karrion Cross.
How you like that?
Nia Jax. Keith Lee.
How you like that?
Harry Smith.
How you like
I don't
that?
even think the ink dried on his contract and released. Mia Yim.
How you like that?
And Eva Marie.
How you like that?
That last one was all right.
Yeah, that last one I'm fine with.
All released.
She was improving though. She had been training.
She had been Spanky, and yeah.
Is Spanky still under contract with the WWE?
I hope so.
The Brian Kendrick?
Yeah, he's on One Live on Thursday nights. He's the only one, right?
Just his stand up.
He's just in the ring. I don't really know where to start.
I mean, I have a good place we could start.
Go ahead, Tim.
Can I get it on this day? Really quick?
Yes.
On this day, 10 years ago, Harry Smith was also released from his WWE contract.
How you like that?
It's appropriate.
It is
November 4th.
It's called Symmetry.
As the world turns. What's old is new.
Oh, how the turntables.
Mark, that's poison.
I needed that really bad. Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God.
We should take our break.
Oh man.
Oh man. Rarely does my own shit make me laugh.
I'm making wet bottom too. How you like that? wind out of
Well,
me.
that's all for 3 Count Thursday this week.
Call it a night.
You just wanted us to read off the list of everybody that got fired, right?
That's
It's
it.
not gonna get better than that. I don't think.
Nope. Thanks for tuning in. I'll I think there was 15 at one point. They knew it's over.
Hearing Mark throw it up and gag is even better.
Oh, I shouldn't keep my water so close to the poison. I'm sorry about that.
Uh,
Even at Christmas.
that'll be a fun tweet.
Oh wow.
That'll put some butts in the
Bethany, is
seats.
Yeah, I hope so. As all of our viewers clicked
Bethany,
off,
Your cat like yellow.
podcast lasts for 3 minutes into microphones.
Whew. All right. All right. Trying to get what was off the rails went further off the rails. It's just another shitty fucking day. Like there's no way to like put it any other way. Like looking at the list, to me the most surprising are BFAB, considering the recent call up of Hit Row. Keith Lee with the recent, was it just last week? Bearcat debuted.
Old big cat.
Karrion Kross, there was all this talk of kind of redoing his gimmick again.
I mean, and it's not like he hasn't just debuted. Like,
right? Like, I mean, he was only
X Marks the
recently
Spot
called
was
up.
very recent, right?
Yeah.
Scarlett, just because.
I mean, that one's less surprising just because of the utilization recently. It's dumb, but it's
Right.
not
To me,
necessarily surprising.
It's like how do you not use her with him?
Let's
Right.
talk about that for 1 second.
Yeah.
So you bring him up.
Scarlett's letter.
God.
The letter of termination.
I wish the poison would have worked.
Again, this is my fault, guys. I did that one too. That's on me.
That's very hurtful.
So you bring up Cross and you give him a hockey mask and you give him the little X marks the spot suspenders, and everybody's like, this isn't working. And then you're like, all right, well, we'll just like make him this hitman sort of courier thing. But before you do that, why wouldn't you just try what worked in NXT and like put him with Scarlett and let's give him the exact same shit that worked in NXT?
Yeah,
because it was over. It was over. You can't deny it wasn't over.
I think, yeah, once they debuted him without her, I think it was just kind of the writing was on the wall with all of it. Like they were bringing him up to fail almost. Like, why would you take something that works so well? We've seen them do it before. Like things work well in NXT. You bring them up with that character and let them continue to do that. I don't know why this one they were like, let's try something different.
I mean, they did that with Bear Claw. They changed his music. They changed his look. They then gave him the Bear Claw gimmick.
Well,
They
we'll
came
see
out with that.
when the next round of cuts come.
On the audience. Bear Claw.
What was that?
I'm afraid to ask.
You know, the Bear Claw has that extra icing right on the top. Oh, so good. You get those big Bear Claws with that extra icing.
So
good.
Of the, we talked about a little bit on the pre-show, pre-show, post-show. You can get on our Patreon for just $2 a month. But if I look at the list of names that were included in these releases, the one through line that at least I see is a lot of these people are Triple H people.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one. You're definitely not wrong on that one.
And so what does that boil down to? Just like pettiness from Khan?
I don't think it's pettiness. I think it's just like
Man, I think you look at the
full
20
change in direction.
You look at that 2021, the full list, not just today. 2021 reeks. Oh, there it is of
This is
Triple H
the
cuts.
releases from last year and this year.
Like there's a ton of up and coming NXT feeling wrestlers on this 2021 release.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of the talents that we had seen that made NXT what NXT was.
Yeah, and then Chelsea Green.
Poor Chelsea.
Man, she just can't get a shake.
Always getting canceled.
But yeah, I mean that's a solid point, Tim. Yeah, definitely a lot of that NXT ilk, which is insane.
It's
but in
wild
the
to
same
me.
time,
Somebody, go ahead.
Like in the same time, when a lot of the names that were coming across today, with the at first, with the exception of Scarlett, and I can't say I was 100% surprised by Scarlett, and I'm even as we started sending them to each other, I was like, maybe she asked for her release, because at first, a little while ago, there was talks that she was hurt, and then I saw a tweet or something from a interview or something she posted that was like, said she's healthy and ready, ready or stay tuned or something like that. So part of me wondered if this wasn't already in the works, at least with her. But a lot of the names, it didn't necessarily come as a surprise to me, especially with the relaunch and rebranding of NXT. Like a lot of the NXT talents didn't necessarily surprise me that much. Then like when PFAB and then Karrion Kross and Keith Lee, those surprised me a little bit. So like the NXT releases don't necessarily surprise me, but man, Ryan, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I just some of the NXT ones do. Like you look at like somebody like a Frankie Monet, and I think we were talking about this when her name broke. You take somebody formerly known as Taya Valkyrie that was very, again, I don't want to keep using the word over, but like very over in Impact, and you just don't know what to do with her. You give her a gimmick that's very different than what she had, and you give her a name that, again, brand new name, and that's not new to the WWE, but you don't do a ton to get her over. Old NXT or new NXT, I don't know how she wouldn't, other than her age and experience level, not fit into a new NXT.
Yeah, and maybe age was part of the factor there.
I mean, Scarlett Bordeaux in Impact. I mean, you were never going to see the smoke show in the WWE.
No, but I mean,
but the presentation with her and Cross were money. She was able to be like that sexy sort of character without revealing too much.
Right.
That she could kind of get away with an Impact that she wasn't going to in the WWE. I don't know. I just don't know how you fumble some of the names on the list. Grand Metalik, I believe I heard, maybe asked for his release.
Yeah,
or had been asking for that.
Asked it weeks ago or something.
But at the same time, it's probably not smart for the WWE to grant him his release when they're firing a bunch of other people, because that adds another name to the list. And it gets all lumped together.
I mean, do you think they care?
I don't think they give a shit.
I mean,
but like, you take 5 names off this list if they've asked for their release. It's not that bad of a. I mean, you know what I mean? You add 5 names, that just makes it look worse. Oh, they are cleaning house.
But I
mean, Nick Khan don't give a shit.
In the counter of it, would you rather see 15 names today or 5 today, 5 next week, 5 the following?
I think you can be absolutely honest. This wrestler asked for their release, and we're granting it. I think that shines a little bit better light on the WWE than lumping them all together under budget cut terminations.
That's fair. Charlie had to I mean, that's fair.
Sure.
That's fair.
What did Nick Khan do before wrestling?
Probably
Like,
a
he
CEO
was
of
some
another
sort of.
billion-dollar company, right?
I'm looking him up. I'm going to add him on LinkedIn and
He
tell
was,
him what I think about
He
him.
wasn't he in
He was-
charge of like a he was the co-head of the CA. He was the CAA co-head of TV. So he was like head of an talent agency.
He wasn't he the CEO of J.C. Penney's? Or is that someone else?
I may have been someone else. Nick says, I guarantee one, maybe two get signed by AEW. Ring of Honor going under hurts, maybe Impact or NWA get help. Absolutely, Impact and or NWA get help. I think there's plenty of talent here for Impact for sure. There's a couple of names here that scream AEW to me. I think Keith Lee and Mia Yim are AEW bound. No, Grand Metalik ain't gonna go there with Jericho on the roster. Scarlet and Cross, I think, could be AEW talent. But you know, there's plenty of places. With MLW as well.
There's no position in MLW for a good referee, though.
I'd say they could probably use one, or two.
I mean, Trey Baxter, I think, goes back on the Indies. That was oh shit, I forget his name. Something Christian. GCW.
Blake Christian, yeah.
Blake Christian.
I saw a tweet.
Sister Christian.
At J Rod Bad on Twitter, he said, once again, we're reminded that wrestling is a business, a cruel business sometimes. It's a fun craft to watch, but it's also a business. Business does what it does no matter what feelings you may have. This isn't unique to one company. It happens everywhere and every day. I mean,
fair.
it's a fair point. It's an unfortunate point on days like today, obviously.
I mean, there's going to come a time AEW makes a dump, and we're going to talk about it on our wrestling podcast because that's what we should talk about.
Certainly. I mean,
Whether
it's a release dump or whether it's a eventually the list of talents that signed initial deals, those deals are going to expire at some point. So you know, at that point, people are going to be back on the market from that company. I guess it is a little different than getting released. But let's see here. Devin says a lot of WWE dreams ended today. It's a shame. I have to say those people got released. Make the WWE regret releasing you. Make yourself a big name on the independents. Absolutely. You know, and with, I mean, even companies like GCW and companies that are on Fight TV and things like that, there's more places even outside of AEW and Impact and, you know, MLW, NWA that you can get seen and get known. You know, it's you know, it is kind of a very, you know, it is a very different wrestling world in that aspect. Doesn't make today any easier, doesn't make people losing their jobs any easier. But you know, that's reality. I mean, it's crazy. Some of the talents have been there for years. Some have just been only around less than a year. Like we said, Harry Smith, I don't think the ink was even dry on his new contract and he's already released. Which why was he even signed back to the company to begin with? You know, I'm
career's just going one direction.
I'm curious
Harry,
to see what, like,
Harry Smith. I thought you said Harry Styles was released.
Thank you, Mark.
My bad.
But you know, it's I don't know, you know, I don't know what else to say today that we haven't said, unfortunately, far too many times before this year. You know, I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts, anything to add. I don't for this.
No, not for me. It's very unfortunate. And if you look over the last 2 weeks, there's just a heap of talent that was just released from their contracts. And it's going to be very exciting to see what opportunities arise for all of these released talents, being from Ring of Honor and the WWE talents. Just hope people can land on their feet as quickly as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this makes me really hope that the Ring of Honor stuff is a reorganization, and that we do see Ring of Honor come back. And I had heard maybe like a best of the indies sort of feel to it. Well, the indie field is getting larger and larger, so I hope these guys can hit the ground running. If not, Jim can pick you up in the car, Mia, again. It's always up to you.
Nick says, what's left of the women's division? I mean,
everybody but Mia Yim and Nia Jax.
I was going to say, I mean, in terms of the main roster, not a whole lot has changed.
Mia Yim, right? Or Nia Jax.
Nia Jax got hurt, and Mia Yim. So not a lot has changed there.
And everybody was calling for Nia Jax's head a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah. I mean, even
so don't be all fucking foofy boo-hoo now for Nia Jax after you called for her release 2 months ago.
I haven't seen anyone be that for Nia Jax.
Yes.
Okay.
The Twitter account was, I think, RYNEAGLE. Tweeting that out. I don't know.
I think Keith Lee is AEW.
Lee's absolutely AEW.
Yeah.
Keith Lee is money.
And again, I think that's his name. You can keep his name.
Yeah.
You have him, Keith Lee. It's good to, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Where they dropped the ball on him.
But yeah, you know, the women, I mean, really, if you look at it, it's the main roster picture actually doesn't change a whole hell of a lot with these releases. I mean, Cross,
they're not going to cut Roman.
Like Cross, who's barely used even since his call up, is gone, and Bearcat Lee is gone. So, and BFAB. Those are your three. Those are your three from the main roster.
It's kind of a shit thing for BFAB because now she's got the 90-day, whereas like 2 months ago,
does
2
she
weeks
though?
ago,
did they remember to change that on her call up?
That's the fair point
for Aleister Black.
That's a fair point.
I just don't get, like, why do you call them up? Why do you call Hit Row up and then 2 weeks later release her? I don't that doesn't.
Well, it was in the draft, Jim, and you have to draft everything as a group. Like the New Day, you couldn't be able to split them up. You'd have to take all of them to one side or the other. So that's how drafts work.
You did split up New Day.
Nah, that's not how drafts work, Jim.
But
I don't know what promotion you think we're talking about here.
Well, Nick, it all depends on what the contract was for Keith Lee, because Chelsea Green signed that contract. So, they ended up settling.
Are you trying to cancel Chelsea Green, Jim?
I might be.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like. You know what? I'm calling a attorney right now.
Better not.
Don't sign, like, I don't mean to sound harsh, but if you don't want to put your name at risk, don't sign your name on the contract, I guess.
Yeah, is this smart Mark Sterling?
Did he hang up on you?
He did.
Does anybody have anything else for this topic anyway?
What topic was this? The wrestler of the week?
No, but that's
what we were talking about.